Guys, Darth Deuce is here with another Star Wars The Black Series action figure review, and today I'm super happy to bring you a review of the Star Wars The Black Series Grand Admiral Thrawn. This is a figure I've wanted for a very long time. I think last year, or maybe even the year before, or whatever, when sometimes people would bring up the question, what figures do you want made into the Black Series 6-inch line? And one of my first responses was always Grand Admiral Thrawn, and I'm super happy they brought him into the Black Series 6-inch line of figures. He's definitely one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, so super happy they did this, and I'm super stoked to finally get him. I had to order mine online. I might talk about my Force Friday experience in my sort of room tour, the university for dorm room tour video, which I'm going to do next, or soon. I'm going to do a top 10 Black Series first, I think, excuse me, but yeah, anyways, let's take a look at them in the packaging first. And it's pretty cool. You've got the new sort of white outline Star Wars The Black Series going on there. Figure in the packaging. Pretty cool image of Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's his figure number 47. Flip around here. And then Grand Admiral Thrawn, you got a pretty good write-up here. It just says, when Governor Price of Lothal wanted a stronger commander to dismantle the rebellion, the Empire answered with Grand Admiral Thrawn. Thrawn was a male Chiss with striking blue skin, red eyes, and an angular face, known for his brilliant strategic mind and ruthlessness. So yeah, pretty cool. Anyways, I'm going to get this guy opened up and out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look at it. Now I have Grand Admiral Thrawn out of the packaging, and this is a super cool figure, man. I'm insanely happy with this figure. There's not too much more I can make him better. He does have a couple minor issues, which I'll bring up, but for the most part, it's a super awesome figure. I am very happy with it. Probably one of my favorite Black Series figures. Just so cool. Obviously, I'm going to be biased because I really like the character, but still, just such an awesome representation of the character. And probably the best action figure you can get of him outside of the Sideshow figure. So, let's get a closer look at him. Of course, this is just a repack of the exclusive without all the accessories, and it would have been nice to get all the accessories, and eventually maybe I'll try to track down that exclusive for a decent price. But for now, I'll make do with this one, because at the end of the day, I do just want the figure. Look at the head sculpt. The head sculpt's really good. Obviously, they don't have a actor to get the likeness down, which probably makes it easier for them, to be honest. But I think they did an excellent job translating Thrawn from the cartoon look to the realistic look, and I think he looks really good. Hair is really nicely sculpted. That's swept back, and it's black. It doesn't have the bluish in it. I'm not sure if it should have a bluish tinge to it or not. I know the 3 3/4 inch one, the hair had a bluish sort of look to it. This one's just black, and I think I prefer the black. He has a nice shade of blue. It's kind of a paler blue, which is really cool. And it's definitely accurate. He's got some eyebrows, which I'm pretty sure just painted on, which would have been nice if they're sculpted, but it's not a huge deal. They don't look too bad. The eyes look really good. You've got dark red on the outside of the eyes, and you've got a lighter red around the pupils, and you got the black pupils, which is awesome, and a black line on the top to really bring out the eyes, which is really awesome. Looks really good. He's got sort of a purplish paint for his lips, which also looks good, and is pretty accurate. So the head sculpt just looks really, really good. And I like the expression too. Looks awesome. They got all this kind of sculpt and contours of his face for the most part. And it's definitely one of the better sort of flesh head sculpts that Hasbro's done with their Black Series 6-inch line. I think Hasbro usually does nail the aliens quite well, or the animated characters into realism quite well, but then they can't get the actors looking good. And he's got these silver sort of play buttons, I guess, but they look like play buttons, but these little things on his collar there are painted in silver and sculpted, which looks really nice. He's got the little epaulette thingies, which are painted in a nice gold paint and are sculpted, and it looks really good. He's got his code cylinders, which are sculpted in there, painted pretty good for the most part. They got a little blue paint on there in silver. You've got the Grand Admiral rank badge, which looks really good. He's got the blue, the yellow, and the red paint apps. Some of the red's chipped a little bit on mine, but it's not a huge deal. And then the rest of the figure, you know, his uniform's in white, so he's painted in white. And it looks really good. The sculpt's definitely there. It looks really nice. And you can even kind of feel and kind of see it on the camera. It's got sort of this texture sculpted to it, which is awesome. Got his blue hands here. His right hand is sculpted with a trigger finger to hold his blaster. The belt here, kind of standard Imperial belt. You got the silver buckle there, some buttons. Then you got the sculpted holster here, which can store his blaster, and you got that nice sculpted detail, make it look like a leather, which is really cool. You got the lower part of the tunic, which is somewhat pliable, but not crazy pliable. Got the legs, which looks pretty nice, you know, not too much to talk about, but nice sculpting. And you got the boots, which are painted nicely. I think I would have liked a little glossier black paint for the boots, but I'm not going to complain too much. It's not a super big deal or anything. But overall, it's a really great looking figure. I don't have really any problems with the sculpt or paint at all. In terms of articulation, he's pretty well articulated. For a Black Series 6-inch figure, he's a ball joint in the head with a hinge at the neck, so you got good range of motion there. Ball hinges at the shoulders, which move really well. Ball hinges at the elbows, which move really well. They actually bend further than 90 degrees, as you can see, because what Hasbro started doing, which if you're going to do single joints is how you should do it, is that at the upper arm here, they're cutting the slot where you would insert the joint on a slant, so that allows for extra forward movement. So that's really good. I think they should keep doing that. They did it with the Cassian Andor figure, and I'm pretty sure the Qui-Gon figure, and I'm happy they did it with this one. That being said, I still would have liked double hinged elbows on this figure, because you can't get his hand up to his chin or anything to make it look like he's pondering a strategy or something like that. You can't do that, so that kind of sucks. He has ball hinges at the wrists, and the wrist hinges go in and out like this, which I'm okay with for this figure. A ball joint at the torso, which moves pretty good. If you move it too high up, you will see sort of the joint, so I guess you don't want to pose it too far back. Ball hinges at the hips move pretty good. They move pretty far out. They move forward a decent amount and back some. Swivel cuts at the thighs, double hinges at the knees, and hinges at the ankles. So you can get him in pretty much every pose you want for the most part. You get him in a lot of poses, not every pose like I just explained, but really good articulation, especially on a Black Series figure. So I'm really happy with that. No huge issues there. In terms of accessories, it comes with one accessory, which would be his blaster pistol here, which is nicely sculpted. Just sculpted in sort of grayish metal color. The sculpt's nice, not too much to go on about, but it's the pistol he uses in the show. So it looks really good. Again, nice sculpted. You can hold it well in his right hand, and it can also be slotted into his holster if he wants to stay still there. So you can just slot that in, and it slots in nice and tightly, and that looks pretty cool. Last but not least, I'll do a quick size comparison. So here he is with probably a relatively standard 6-inch scale figure, which is a Stormtrooper, if I can get him to stand. There we go. And Thrawn's a little bit taller than him, which makes sense. Thrawn is a taller character, and he stands about maybe a half head taller than the Stormtrooper, so that is pretty good. I think that's relatively accurate. He could maybe be a slightly taller, but I'm not going to complain too much about that. And here he is with a taller figure, Phasma, and he's just slightly shorter than Phasma, probably about half head shorter than Phasma, so he's kind of in the middle. So I think that works. So yeah, that's pretty good. Let's get these figures out of the way here. So overall, if you couldn't already tell, I really like this figure a lot. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite Black Series 6-inch figures. It's super, super cool. I'm super happy that they made Thrawn in the Black Series 6-inch form. It's definitely, like I said, again, one of the best, if not the best the best Thrawn action figure you can get outside of the Sideshow figure. So if you're a Thrawn fan, I highly recommend picking this guy up. You can get him online for retail, at least on the Canada Amazon website. He's on there right now for retail, and that's how I got him. So if you want to pick him up, can't find him in stores, head on over online. You should be able to get him on Amazon. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, may the Force be with you.